We are going to review a lot of the components of literature. So basically, let's just screen share first to look at the schedule. You're supposed to have read chapter 6 already. And today you're gonna do quiz 3, which is already on in Moodle. So just go to Moodle, go to literature, go to the announcements, and there you will see quiz 3, which you have to do today and upload today, which is based on chapters 5 and 6, okay? Now, today we're going to review, not the techniques though. I'm going to review the elements, yeah? And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, all these questions that you have to answer, which is basically making sure that we really understand everything. Yeah, and in unit 4, we will straight away continue with the literary techniques when we start unit 4. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at this from using SparkNotes. But before we go into that, I want to ask you, since you all know, wait, let me make it a bigger screen. Yeah. I want to ask you about the literary devices. I want to know what the literary devices are. Literary devices consist of 2 components. Now, before you answer that, you need to know that I do not expect you to remember. Yeah? You are all students, so it's only normal if you're here to learn, right? Jadi kalau belum hafal, belum tahu semua itu wajar, itu tidak masalah, ya. Tapi yang saya ingin lihat adalah sikap yang mau mencari tahu, ya. So what my expectation from you is just that you are willing to look things up. That's it. It's only normal that you don't know yet, right? And even if you answer wrong, that's not a problem. That's how we learn, right? So cari tahu itu yang penting. You have all your links already, and they are all in where? Where can you find all the links? Who can answer me that first? Not in, don't say Moodle. In what file? Yes, Sean?
Ebook.
The ebook only has the links for the post-test tests and ebook activities, but the links, the extra links as the Google Slides, the extra links that I give for North Star and also for literature, where can you find that?
SparkNotes.
Yeah, SparkNotes. The link of SparkNotes and all the other links are in your unit schedule. Yeah, so remember that for all the extra information that you need to access, like rubrics, links for literature, links for North Star, all are in your unit 3 schedule. That's why every lesson, I always go to your unit schedule first. It states what you need to do, when you need to do it, and all the links, yeah? So that's important. Okay, so we're gonna start with the literary devices. Now, you can open the link to that if you are still confused. If you're afraid that you will answer wrong and you're still confused, oh, Ms. Sylvia, I don't know. Now, see, this is your unit schedule. Later on for our unit 4, you will have a new schedule, which also will hold all the links. Here? This is the one. So maybe you would want to open this in order to be able to answer, yeah? It is important that you read every link, that you look at it. Ya, link itu dikasih untuk dibaca, dipelajari, bukan hanya ditaruh aja, bukan hiasan ya. Okay, cool. So it's important that you guys look at those links and that you read it, yeah? So whenever I ask questions, I'm not expecting you to memorize everything. The only thing that I would want is that you look it up and then answer, yeah? So if you say to me, I don't know, that's not a good answer. Never ever say, I don't know. better say, Miss, give me a second untuk mencari tahu. Itu lebih baik. Ya, karena kalau I don't know itu, it stops there. I don't know, sudah, saya nyerah. Dan itu tidak boleh. Ya. Okay? Even if your answer is wrong, that's not a problem. I respect whatever effort you give, but at least you give efforts to try to figure it out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is review. We're going to review what are literary devices. There are two components of literary devices. Literary yada yada, literary yada yada. Who would like to tell me which two we've got? Anyone?
Me, I am Miss.
Yeah.
The literary technique and literary elements.
Yeah, very good. Could you, Dimas, tell me what the literary elements, what that is? What does that mean?
That's aspect or characteristic that we can find inside of the text.
Very good. So those are the components, yeah, which make up the text. Jadi bagian-bagian atau komponen-komponen yang menjadi satu cerita, yang membuat cerita jadi menjadi satu cerita. Okay? What about some of the examples, Aksara? Could you give me examples of the literary elements? Thank you, Dimas.
Example of literary elements could be a theme, settings, conflict, or point of view.
Very good. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about it. What is a point of view?
A point of view is a way that the story is being told, I guess.
Yeah.
For example, in first person, we person that involves in that story tells the story. In second point of view, I don't know how to describe that. And on third person, we saw the action and we retell it to people.
Yeah, very good. Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, the third point of view would be the narrator telling the story. Yeah. So the narrator tells it is more omniscient, like the narrator is everywhere at the same time and dips into the thoughts of every character. So does not use the pronouns I, me, my. Whereas the first point of view is the main character who tells the story. So you're more seeing it from one particular perspective. So it's a more narrow mind way of seeing it, whereas third person is broader. And sometimes in a story, they start first and change to third. You can change that. To talk a little bit about what you mentioned just now, Aksara, about the second point of view. We do not use the second for stories, but that is definitely used for persuasive text and advertisement, for example. Because with the second point of view, you say you. So it would be funny if you have a story which said it was early morning, you woke up and you felt very dizzy and you decided to make some coffee, to drink some coffee, and then you thought, itu kan lucu ya kalau pakai you. So that's why that is not used in a story. Awesome beans. Setting. Aksara, would you maybe also want to explain what a setting is?
Settings is the place or the condition where the story is being held.
Very good. So awesome. Time, place. When is it happening? Where is it happening? Characterization. Always the author talks a little bit about the characters. And ada juga satu aspect. They talk about, can talk about historical concept or context, economical context, social context, cultural context. Itu juga bisa. So they give like, for example, a background of where the story takes place, in what historical moment it was, what the economy was at that time, sometimes even political. It's just because the author probably wants the reader to know, like, and what he really wants to know what context it is. Very good. Awesome beans. Thank you. We're gonna go to another point Aksara mentioned was theme. Anyone who would like to explain what theme is? You want maybe?
I want to try, Miss.
Yeah?
The theme is like the main idea of a story.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So the theme really, the whole story is like centered around that particular theme. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So basically in the elements, we've got a lot. Yeah. Aksara mentioned several though. We also have, if you look at the narrative arc, the rising action, which involves the setting, the suspense, the climax, and then the falling action, which goes into the resolution and the ending. Characterization is a part, the antagonist then, yeah, and the protagonist then. What is an antagonist and a protagonist? Karen, would you know what the difference is? If you're still confused, you can say it, no problem.
Can you repeat?
Antagonist, what's an antagonist? We have in characterization, we have main characters, right? And just additional characters. So one of the main characters we have is a protagonist and an antagonist. Would you know?
The protagonist is kind and the antagonist is evil.
Okay, cool. Sean, how would you explain it?
The antagonist is usually in narrative story is the one who's the bad guy, while the protagonist is the main character or the good guy.
Yeah, very good. Both of you are correct. Karen just said it in a very cute way. Yeah. So actually, you know, in English, you can take a lot from the prefixes, the letters that come before it. Yeah, prefix. So if you say protagonist, pro, right? Positive. Antagonist come from like anti, not so good. Can you imagine a story that only has a protagonist and not an antagonist? The story will be boring, right? So we always want the bad guy to make the story exciting, like a story without a conflict. Conflict is a major point in elements of a story. Bayangkan cerita tanpa konflik. Boy meets girl. They fall in love. They get married. Have a dozen of kids, grow all together, life was good. Who wants to read that? It's boring, right? Like, dude, no. Okay,
Too
so
good to be
we
true.
want, huh?
Too good to be
Cheesy.
true.
It's not even cheesy
Sylvie,
anymore.
I have a question.
Huh? What did you
I have
say?
a question.
Yeah, go on.
Is there any chance that a story or literature that the main character is antagonist, not the protagonist?
What about, I talked about it yesterday with my daughter. What's the word? Vigilante? Is that the word? Wait. Vigilante. Yeah, vigilante. Do you know what that is?
Like the one who takes out crime.
Kevin.
An anti-hero?
Yeah. Good. Awesome. Definitely. Yeah. A vigilante, yeah. You know, he's the main character. He takes out crime, so he's kind of the good guy, but the bad guy because he does it the wrong way. He goes against the law.
It's like the movie Catch Me If You Can.
Yes. Yes.
Or Green Hornet?
Yes. I think about these, what is that? These superhero movies. Ayo.
Arrow.
Deadpool.
Arrow, that's a good one. Series. That's a vigilante. Deadpool, yeah. So these are really, I think that could be in a way, they're like actually the bad guy because what they're doing is wrong, but their purpose is right. But it's still wrong. I mean, like you could go to prison. You can never take law in your own hands, right?
Thanos.
Like Thanos.
Yeah.
But Thanos isn't the main character, right?
Not really. He's not the main character. Right. Yeah. I think that makes sense. But If we're gonna answer Dimas's question, it could be then it's maybe a story told like a true story, which is told about someone who is a criminal maybe, or a mass murderer, or a crazy person, you know. Then the antagonist would become the main character. It's about what that guy has done. Those are mostly going into the true stories, yeah. But most stories that we enjoy that are like fiction are mostly created still, you know, like good versus bad, or now vigilantes. And I don't know if you've seen this. The weird thing lately is that a lot of bad characters have been romanticized, like Joker. You know,
It is not romanticized.
no, do you understand when I say this? Romanticized is like, we mean this, that a lot of right now, if you look in social media, I don't know what kind of social media, I'm more take it from Twitter and all that, but if you're looking at a lot of what's going on, is that a lot of people romanticize basically the antagonists, the bad guys. Like as if, oh, kasihan, wajar, and it's as if they are accepting the things they are doing and not looking at the crime that is behind it anymore. Whereas long before, we're talking 20 years back, it was like, that's bad, that's a crime, they should not accept it. But now a lot, even through movies, are romanticized in the sense that even Joker, come on, a lot of people, aduh kasihan, aduh iya, wajar lah, you know, like, it's like pitying.
Because he is depressed, right?
Mm-mm.
But it seems like in the real life, when even you are for defense yourself and someone robbery you, then you accidentally kill someone for defense yourself, then our law will say that you have to go to the jail because you just take someone's life.
Oh, wow. But you say saving a life or defending your own life?
There's a lot of case that because someone defend his or herself, then suddenly without like secara tidak sengaja killing someone, then the law will say that you have to go to jail, whatever is it.
Yeah.
Because when you take someone's life, that means you committed to crime.
Yeah. But it depends on whether it was fully self-defense. Maybe we have to have a good lawyer then, yeah? So scary. Yeah, so that is the antagonist and the protagonist. And there are also multiple protagonists and antagonists. Sometimes we have more than one antagonist in a story. Yeah, we're in a bit, we're going to look at that, how that works for the Odyssey, though. Okay, so we've got point of view, setting, theme, conflict, rising action, falling action, theme, motives in a story. Yeah, all of these. Now, I'm going to screen share the, you can just open the link by yourself if you want to. You can just go to Spark Notes, the Odyssey, or look ahead with me. That's fine as well. I would advise you to open it so you can answer the questions. Oh, many have opened it already. I see all these signs. So good. Whoop. That's a bit too big. Okay. By the way, I really want to say thank you for those who were willing to watch with me the landing of Perseverance on Mars. Yeah, that was like pretty cool. And the fact that you guys, you guys were really willing to do it. I tell you honestly, the night before I prayed to the Lord God Almighty. I said, Lord, I am afraid that I am not going to wake up. And I'm going to be so malu. Oh, wait, this is really hanging right now. Give it a sec to load. Where did my thingy thing go? Yeah, So I said, Lord God Almighty, I am really malu if I do not wake up on time and my students wake up on time. I didn't expect anyone to be there. I really thought no one would show up. So I was like, these guys are not going to do that. They probably don't think this is cool anyways, you know? So when I woke up, I set my alarm and I was really like, before I went to bed, wake up on time, you know? And so when I woke up and I looked at my phone, I saw a chat already. Miss, where are you? I was like, where? So when I opened the computer and then 7 of you guys were there, that was like so cool. Like really, really cool. Awesome beans, man, for real. Yeah, I just want to say for those who took the time to do that, I want to thank you. Okay. Okay, my kids is dropping off food. That's so sweet. Like super sweet, like yay. Okay, this is still loading. Okay, let me see. I don't know what's happening. Maybe my internet is being a bit knocked out. Let's go from here. Let's see what we get in here. Guys, give me a sec, yeah, because somehow it doesn't want to load. Now I'll just take it from here. Okay, we go from here. Confusing. Okay, so yeah, just wanted to say that it was super cool that several of you were there and wanted to watch it together. And basically you seeing my crazy kids because they're all like, shoot, you know? So yeah, really funny. And then I realized that many of you are used to sleeping late. I never really realized that because I came into the screen like I just woke up. I was like really, really sleepy. Whereas you guys were really fresh. And I realized that many of you just kind of sleep late.
We're just used to not sleeping at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
50% of us are nocturnal.
Crazy.
I want to call me for wake up me.
I got slept by 2.
Gila, bener. That's just
Some of us only sleep 6 hours a day, max.
Oh, wow. So then you guys go to bed really late? Like
yes,
really late.
And wake up early.
Yes.
I thought I ever read a journal about why the young age sleep so late and the older age because of the metabolism and then how actually their body works.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's kind of okay as long as we are not too tired every day for through our all activities.
Right. Oh wow. Amazing law. Really. Okay. Now let's look at but actually it's really cool though that you guys are so what is that? You really want to learn. You really want to get something out of it. That's to me really cool. Like it makes me excited as well. If there's anything else that is major going on, I will let you guys know. Who knows, we can do that again. It's fun, man. Me with my coffee at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. So funny. Okay, first themes. Okay, let's look at it. What are the themes that are discussed in this story of the Odyssey? You can open the link and look at it. What are the themes that are discussed in the story? Gisela, could you answer that for me?
Yes, miss.
What are the themes that we see?
In the Odyssey story.
Yeah.
About war.
Yes. If you open the link, you can see it's mentioned there.
The SparkNotes lingness.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
In which lingness? Which link?
Oh, okay, that's the link of SparkNotes. You can access it in the Unit 3 schedule, or you can just Google SparkNotes the Odyssey. And then you go to main idea. Okay, can I ask Nathaniel? Nathaniel, do you know what themes are discussed?
Wait, let me find it, Miss. Wait.
Yeah.
The power of cunning over strength.
Yes. Very good. There's more. What else?
The pitfalls of temptation.
Yes.
Divine justice.
Yeah, very good. Okay, let's keep it to these three first. So if you're looking at the power over cunning and strength, like cunning means when you're really smart and you know you're good at making your plans, and you're cunning, you're just really smart. Okay, so power over just being smart and the strength that you have maybe also speaks a lot of the gods and goddesses, the Greek gods that are mentioned in the story, because the story in the time that it was written, it was really much into the beliefs of the Greek mythology. So definitely a higher power that goes over or is stronger than just being smart and strong physically. Odysseus is very strong. He has enormous strength. In the story, Odysseus also shows that he is smart. It shows that he's very cunning in how he makes his plan of escape, plans to conquer. He is amazing in that. And that's why in the story, you also see that Odysseus wins a lot of wars, right? Yeah, but still there is a power that goes over all that, which comes from the Greek gods, basically. Yeah, there's also talk about some of the stupidity, like for example, what is it that shows the, what is it called, the Polyphemus, that, or for example Poseidon's son, yeah, who is really big and seems to be very strong, but is not really smart and is easily fooled. So it talks about power and over cunning and strength. It shows weakness and strength, smartness versus not being smart, you know, all these aspects are shown. The pitfalls of temptation, yeah, it relates a lot to also the women in this story, yeah. A lot of temptation through food or through luxury or through circumstances, and also through the women in this story. Yeah. And then divine justice really goes into also the gods, yeah, that in the end justice comes through the Greek gods. Now, if you go to the next page, click next page, we see even more. We also have the homecoming, which is a theme. Yeah, because basically the whole story is about Odysseus coming home, right? And taking his kingdom back. And cunning, it really talks about the smartness. If you see, the Odyssey begins with the Trojan Wars that separate Odysseus from Ithaca, and the theme of warfare that you see, and basically how smart Odysseus is on planning everything to get his winnings, but also to get home. Yeah, cool. We're gonna go to the plot analysis. I wanna ask Clarence. Clarence, can you tell me in your own words what the plot of the story is?
Odysseus tries to get home.
Ah, that's really short. Yeah. With a few more explanations along the way.
Odysseus tries to get home, but there are troubles in the way.
Yeah, there are a lot of troubles. Yeah. So does the story start from him leaving Ithaca and going to the Trojan War, or where does the story actually start? Clarence?
After the Trojan War.
Yeah, very good. So it doesn't start from him going to the Trojan War. It really, yeah. It starts where he is on a deserted island, right? He's in captive. That's where it starts. Yeah. Okay. So basically the whole story is about Odysseus trying to get home to his family. And then once he gets home, taking back his kingdom, which was almost, had almost fallen into the hands of someone else. Okay, who's the protagonist in the story? Prakoso. Prakoso, do you know who the protagonist is in the story?
Okay, the protagonist is Odysseus.
Yeah, very good. The man of twists and turns, that's what it says. Everything is driven by him. Can you also tell me who the antagonist is, Prakoso?
Yes, miss, the antagonist. The suitors, miss, the suitors.
Very good, yeah. The mortal antagonists are the suitors, definitely. Yeah, they're going against him. They want to take away his kingdom. But the cool thing about the story, it also has an immortal. It also has a mortal antagonist. Would you happen to know which one that is?
Poseidon, miss. Poseidon.
Poseidon, very good. And why is Poseidon so angry? Do you know that?
I have no idea, miss.
No? Okay, anyone who knows?
Well,
why
I am, miss. Because
yes?
Odysseus killed his son.
Very good. Odysseus killed Poseidon's son. That's why Poseidon is like very angry. So the cool thing in this story is that we're seeing mortal and immortal antagonists. Yeah? But no vigilantes. Now. Okay, what about the setting, Dimas? Sir, because I see you yawning, I need to make sure you don't fall asleep. All right, Dimas? Dimas or Dimas? Dude, what's the setting in this story?
The setting is it's not a Trojan War. In the sea. The setting is a lot of it in the sea, and then what is the name of Odysseus Island? I forgot the name of Odysseus Island.
Actually, I forgot to. I don't remember.
I would like to mention that, but I forgot it.
Dang, I don't remember too.
And then there's Circe Island, when all the Odysseus companions turn in the pig. Then Telemachus. No, this is not Telemachus' name. I think only that.
Yeah, there's like Sparta and I don't know, all these different places, right?
Yeah, there's so many places.
Okay.
But mostly I thought mostly in the ocean.
Yes, at sea. Yeah, basically, if generally speaking, this whole story is written in the area of the Mediterranean coast. The Mediterranean coast during the Bronze Age. So the place would be the Mediterranean coast, the time would be the Bronze Age, and that would have been approximately the 12th century before Common Era. Yeah? But the story is written as if it was 700 years before Common Era. Yeah? So, yeah. The next one, we want to know the motives. Aksara, what about the motives? Those are recurring structures, contrasting things, literary devices, things that can help to develop and inform the text's major themes. Motive that gets used. Yeah?
Ithaca, the place of Odysseus.
Oh, Ithaca.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his kingdom. But the islands, I forgot the name. Sorry, Aksara. Intermezzo.
No problem.
Okay, Aksara.
The motives are storytelling, disguises, seductresses, and that's it.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, the storytelling. Basically, it delivers a plot to the audience, right? As a story. The disguises are very clear though. Can anyone comment to that? Or maybe Aksara wants to comment to that? Like the disguises are very clear. Like, can you give an example of the disguises in the story?
The one that I remember the most is when they disguise, when Odysseus and his friend, his friend or army, I forgot, they disguise as a lamp.
Right.
They got from a Cyclops cave. Yeah, that's the one that I remember the most.
Very good. Anyone else, maybe? Ricky, what about you? Do you know about any other disguise? No? Do you guys remember in the story the disguise that when Athena disguises herself as an old man or like a friend of the dad's. Yeah, right, Ricky? I like your expression. Yeah, and also Odysseus, when later on in the story Odysseus gets home to Ithaca, he disguises himself as an old man as well, in order to get into, not to be killed straight away and to get his kingdom back. So in the story, you see a lot of disguising themselves to cover up certain things in order to make a plan work or something. And then for seductresses, yeah, you see women that are a very important figure in the Odyssey and their roles to seduce. That is a part that also plays in the Greek mythology, in the stories, like also how gods were with humans, and then you had half humans. I don't know if you're familiar with the story Percy Jackson. The books, Percy Jackson, you see that too, and then you have these half gods. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, that's quite a nice series also to read, actually. So yeah, that is a part of it. Okay, one more, symbols. Let's see the symbols. Sean, could you enlighten us with the symbols?
The symbols? Let me check that.
So those are either objects, characters,
food. The symbols are food, the wedding bed. That's it.
Yep, that's correct. Now, could you say something about food? Do you see that come back in the story? Maybe you have an example?
The Cyclops eats humans, but not sheep. Apparently glutinous nonetheless. When he gets drunk, he vomits up wine mixed with pieces of human flesh.
Oh my God, this is so disgusting. Right, yeah. Gluttony, it's the greediness of wanting to have it, yeah? Yeah, so food, yeah, that's one example. And also, another example could be, do you guys remember that every time when a guest arrived somewhere, or where Athena and Telemachus went to Sparta and the other place, everywhere they came, they would be, as a guest, welcomed, and then it was always a feast, always food. Dine with us, you know? And then in the story, you can see that it was like, not just a meal, you know, not nasi bungkus, nasi kotak, you know, like this king's meal, like plenty of food, plenty of wine. That resembles throughout the whole story as well. Maybe that is a form of welcoming, hospitality, kindness. Yeah, like that. And the wedding bed here is very symbolizing Penelope's commitment and loyalty to her husband, Odysseus, waiting for 20 years for him to return. Yeah. And which in this case, the immovability of their bed. Oh yeah, and in that story, their bed literally, and we will get to that, in their story, their bed literally cannot be moved, was made by Odysseus himself and cannot be moved, which resembles the foundation of their strong love, unshakable love. Very interesting how an author uses certain objects or colors or characters and figures in order to represent something strong in the story. Okay, the last thing we talk about for today is genre. I would like to ask, wait, who's that? Oh, Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Yes, Miss.
Hi, Vanessa. What is the genre of this story? What type of writing is this? What type of literature? Remember, yeah, guys, we've got literature. Yeah, we've got literature, which is everything is a story that has a plot that includes long, short stories and poetry and rhymes. And then we've got informational text, which is really extending information so that's really more rigid, factual based. And then we've got literary nonfiction. Those are the factual things written in story form. So it's written like a story, but it's not a story. It's factual information. And that is that often uses the first point of view to make the gap between the writer and the audience very close. Okay, Vanessa, what about the genre?
Poem, Miss.
Yeah, what type of poem? If you click it, it states it clearly.
It's an epic poem, Miss.
Yeah, very good. It's an epic poem. And it's an epic poem, which means, if we see here, pick it a bit. Yeah. It's an epic poem, meaning an exalted story of a warrior-like hero's journey and dealings with the gods, told in a formal poetic structure. While epic poems were created in a number of ancient cultures, including India, Sumeria, and Persia, the Odyssey had the greatest influence on Western epic poetry and established a number of conventions that are repeated in other Greek and Latin epics. Yeah. So very much focusing on heroic acts, journeys, wars, overcoming, winning, kind of like that. Okay, next week we will talk about allusions, style, point of view, tone, foreshadowing, and key facts that are in this story. We will talk about that next week. Yeah, that goes a little bit deeper into the story itself. And then once we start North Star chapter 4, we're gonna dig into the techniques and then really learning the techniques, yeah? One by one understanding. So for our next school year, we can start analyzing using the techniques. You need to know them first before we can do that. Are there any questions maybe? Maybe anything you'd like to add, something I forgot? Maybe you wanna share? Something you saw, you read? No? Always share what you've got in your mind, because to be honest with you, I'd like to learn too. My whole policy is learning from each other. So you're here, you're learning, but I'm learning from you as well, because your perspective is different from mine. And to hear your input and perspective will teach me as well. Yeah, so I'm very open for your input. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, cool beans then. So don't forget to do your quiz. You have time this whole day to do it. Remember, your quiz will focus on wait a second, on chapters 5 and 6. Yeah. So quiz 3 is based on chapter 5 and 6. So you got to scan through it. And the objective of the quiz is for you to be busy with the story, to make sure you really understand the story. So by the end of April, you are able to write about the story. Yeah? So you have for next week only your journal and your log, and your ebooks must be done. But for your literary analysis, that is for May. So there's nothing for literature you have to give next week. That is for May, okay? So we still got time. Okay, remember to finish everything on time. If you still have questions, please, please never ever hesitate to ask me. You can ask me anything. If I don't answer straight away, maybe I'm still busy, but I will reply. And I'm always okay. Gotta ask, yeah? Okay, cool. Have a great day today. Have a great weekend. God bless you all, and I will see you. Let me see. Thursday. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Miss Elvie.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, Miss
Yes.
Sylvie.
God bless.